Now,
Excellent. So we are there.
Hello.
Hello, dear friends on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Thank you for joining us live. If you are joining us live, drop us a comment and say hello. And if you catch us on replay, stop and say hello right now if you're watching this. And tell us what prompted you to be here with us, what prompted you to join us. Today, we have a very, very exciting subject. We're talking about best friends. We're talking about, want to turn this around and look at ourselves, right? Look at this from the point of what do we bring as a best friend, right? Because that is what we control. That is what we're in charge of. How other people show up, that is not our thing. How we present ourselves, what we bring to the table, is all within our power of control. And the exciting, really exciting part is that the better, the finer, the more complete version of self we present, the better reflection we receive without a fail, right? So I'm eager to hear about your experiences, your advice, your points. What does it take to be a best friend? Who wants to go first? There she is. Go ahead.
Light it up, Agat. Light it up.
all you just said, Katerina, is so true. And I'm still at 64 years old practicing that when I'm with a friend, when I'm with someone, my best to serve that person and myself is when there is something I see and it's like, oh, should I say it? Maybe he won't like me. We have to. And, all within respect and all within, with love and all of that. But we have to, because, listening to someone who is, I call it rubbing the belly. Oh, this and that. Oh, this and that. And you go, oh, yeah, poor you. Oh, yeah. Doesn't help nobody. So you're not a best friend then. You're just extending the misery. You're not, yeah. So that's what it is for me to be a best friend. Be honest.
Yeah.
Even if you're like, oh my gosh, would they just like, write me off their life? But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
if
know
they
exactly.
and if they do, it's like, okay, sorry, did I hurt you here? That wasn't my intent. What happened? Like, ask question. Cross finger and toes. I don't know.
Yes. I think speak, communicate, that is the best thing, but you have to remain aligned with your truth, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
are not, then you're not a best friend.
No.
Brilliant. Welcome, Ryan. It's nice to have you here. That really resonated with me, Agatha. I love what you shared. Who wants to go next? Hi, Ryan.
I'd like to share a verse from Proverbs 17:17. It says, "A friend loves at all times." And I see two things there. One is a friend loves, and that's unconditional love. So a love that doesn't have any conditions, like I'll love you as long as you do this. But it's a love that really looks out for that other person. And then the other part is at all times or at all seasons. We go through different seasons in life where sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, sometimes we're really feeling great, and sometimes we're not feeling so great. But when I think of a good friend, a best friend, I think of someone who's always there no matter what the season, with that unconditional love. And I really can't think of a better example than that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. He renders me speechless at this moment. So absolutely resonant with that.
Yeah.
Who dares follow?
I would like to say something. So yes, since I'm very young, as you can see. Since I was a child, I always thought that it's taking time to build a relationship, with the best friend. And honestly, by growing up, I realized that that is not true. That is taking just a moment. It's really just a matter of seconds. The moment that you meet someone, and sometimes it's like you don't even talk to the person directly, because sometimes we meet friends like we do in this moment. And while someone else is talking, may I have already goosebumps. And for me, that is already the connection from the highest and from the deep, deep of my soul. Yes, I having goosebumps right now. I could say more and more, but apart to showing up is just to put yourself, all your love, all your essence there. And even if you do not talk, or even if you cannot see or cannot listen, you can feel the relationship, the new friendship.
Yep. Amazing. Yes. So true. Every single word you said. Masara, did you want to go
Yes,
next?
yes. I decided to just choose this scenario. You're with your best friend, you see them naked, and then you ask them the question, so what does your partner think about you, the way you look? You can ask them that question, and they'll give you an honest answer, and you can have the conversation. So, well, if I don't ask, who will? If I'm not the one that's going to ask you that question, who will? Right? So when you're naked, when you're showing your true colors, when you're showing whatever it is, just having that conversation, and knowing that, I love you irrespective of what you say now. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be there for you. I'm there. I'm there for you if you need me. And if you don't need me, I'm still there for you. Right? So it's just that person who can ask that question seriously, because there are not many people who've got the right to ask such a question. Right? And so asking that question and getting an answer and discussing it, that's for me being a best friend.
So I'm getting there is a great deal of honesty. It's like what Agathe was saying. So your comment is very much aligned with that, right? Okay, lovely.
That's true.
Who wants to go next? Go ahead, Ryan, please.
Okay, so I want to read a scripture. A part of a scripture, John chapter 3, verse 30, and it said, "He must increase, so I must decrease." So what that means is that, when you give undivided attention to your friend, and your friend is going through something as well, whatever you think at that moment, whatever you think your friend should be doing at that point as well, you must push aside all your opinions, all your second opinions, and all your biased opinions as well, and just listen to them and give them how you would handle the situation, but from their point of view. Because when we speak to our friends, sometimes we like to go above them, which can make it a bit, interesting. So if you come down a bit and let them take the lead, let them be the focus of the conversation itself, not only are you proving yourself to be a very good friend, but they know that in times of trouble, in times of need, in times of tribulation as well, I can come to you, and you will listen to me, and you will hear me out, and you will talk about my issue as well. So I think about when it comes to honesty, like the others have said, you'll be honest with them, and you will say, well, from where I look at things, this is how you should approach this situation itself, even if you don't agree with it. But it's like that, isn't it? So yeah, you must become smaller so you can pay attention to them, and you would expect them to give you the same in return as well.
I love that, Ryan. I love the removing of that personal element out of the picture, because if you were there to counsel someone and to show them support, especially if this is your best friend, your ego doesn't have the room in that picture, really, right? You just have to be love, however that wants to manifest in that moment. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Alan?
I was thinking about, the obvious thing to say is that we want to be unconditionally loving toward our best friends and really everybody else. And so the knee-jerk reaction that I thought was, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about loving others and putting them first, which is obviously very important. But I'm looking at it a little differently from my own experience and from all the coaching I've done. And since some of you cited the Bible, my favorite Bible verse is love God with all your heart and love others as yourself, which implies you love yourself first. Getting the negative ego out is, of course, important. But if we don't have a positive ego, we can become the enabler and we can give, and then we get put on the back burner and then bleed to death. So my philosophy is that if I could accept, love, and adore myself like my own child and walk around with a love machine attitude that doesn't have my own emotional, psychological crap in the way, then I could be more attentive, more loving, more accepting of not just my best friend, but anyone else that I need to do that with. So the acceptance and love of yourself in a good way, to me, is the critical element for me to be a best friend to others.
I love how you always find different words to say the exactly same thing.
Well, we're all saying the same thing in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. We're so resonant with one another here, and I love that. And I hope that this conversation can serve as an inspiration to all of you who are watching. And I hope that you will bring your opinions to the table. We have shared our hearts here, and I trust that you can feel the joy that is coming to you from this group. If you feel inspired to join us, you are always welcome. We are anchored in love. Thank you for coming here today, and I hope to see you next Friday. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.